everybody. Hello, hello. It keeps getting dark on me. What's up with that? If I sit like this, you can see me. Be the change, guys. So, I need more light. I haven't been on for a few days. Taking a little bit of a break to reflect on everything going on in my life right now. Can you see like that? So, I am here. Don't mind my belly. Hello, hello. I haven't been on in a few days. I was taking a little bit of a break to reflect on everything going on in my life right now. But I know that 90% of success is showing up. And so I'm back because I don't want to take too much time off, right? Because going live was kind of every single day has kind of like become a habit to me. And I like it that way. So I'm back after just taking a few days to reflect, like I said. So I'm going to jump into day 56 of JumpStart Your Thinking. This is a 90-day improvement plan. We're already about 2 months into it. So let's continue with this. Big thinkers are specialists in Big thinkers are specialists in creating positive, forward-looking, optimistic pictures in their own minds and in the minds of others. Vision. It's being able to see the vision and then getting other people to be able to see that vision as well and then acting on it, right? So if your thinking runs toward pessimism, let me ask you a question. How many highly successful people do you know who are continually negative? None, I bet. Here are 5 more benefits from learning the skill of possibility thinking. It increases others' possibilities. When you have a positive mental attitude, when you believe that it can be done, right, and you're inspiring and you're empowering to others, they believe it as well, right? You raise the bar on their limitations. So that happens in part because possibility thinking is contagious. You can't help but become more confident and think bigger when you're around possibility thinkers, right? So like, are you like telling your dreams to your family and they're like, oh, you can't do that? Or are you like around people who are like, yeah, you can totally do that. Like, reach for the stars. Keep going, right? Big picture thinking allows you to dream big dreams. I have signs all over my house that say dream big. So big picture thinking allows you to dream big dreams. No matter what your profession, and because you believe in possibilities, you put yourself in the position to achieve them. Big picture thinking makes it possible to rise above average. Every time you remove the label of impossible from a task, you raise your potential from average to off the charts. It's impossible until it's done, until somebody does it, right? Big picture thinking gives you energy because you invest yourself in what you believe can succeed. So you have a vision, right? And you know that it can work. You see other people have done it, right? So you know that you can do it as well. Big picture thinking keeps you from giving up because if you believe you will succeed, you have already won much of the battle because your beliefs create your reality, guys. So continuing with yesterday's thought, what do you really want to do now? What is your dream? If you didn't fear failure or being laughed at, what would you start doing today? Write that down. No limitations. What do you want? What is your dream? If you could have anything, no limits, nothing's impossible. What do you want? Write that down. Okay, start with that. Get clear on what you want. Okay? Hi. It's very important to get clear on what you want and then take inspired action, right? And focus on your why. Like, why are you doing what you do? Hi, Holly. And that is what will make you strong. And that's what will make you persist, right? Because if your why is really strong, why are you doing what you're doing? And leave the how to the universe, right? Everything will literally just start to unfold like magic. And it really is. And it's starting and all the things. And I had to take a few days off because I'm like still just having to reflect on everything that's going on. Hi, baby. She was content, and now she's here. This is part 3 of Limitless. So, yeah, baby. The how, right? So there's 3 parts to having the limitless as a whole, being limitless, right? You need the mindset, you need the motivation, and you need the method. So this is the how, the method. The method is a specific process for accomplishing something, especially an orderly, logical, or systematic way of instruction, right? So it's the breaking down, it's the plan, it's the method. I'm gonna knock her out. By this point, you've discovered how to unleash 2 of the elements necessary to become limitless. You've learned how to approach every day with a productive mindset, and you've learned how to do so with an optimal level of motivation. But there's one more M that differentiates limitless people from those who are encumbered by their limitations: method. Methods are the procedures or processes for accomplishing something. In this context, method is the process of learning how to learn. Meta-learning. Meta-learning is learning how to learn, also called meta-learning. When we go through the education system, we are taught very antiquated and ineffective ways of learning, true, such as sub-vocalization and rote memorization. As I mentioned at the start of this book, when I was struggling as the boy with the broken brain, I wasn't incapable of learning. History has shown that. But I wasn't succeeding at learning in the way I was being taught, because they have a one-way method, right? Teach everybody the same way. Well, if you judge a fish by how it can climb a tree, guess what? It's not going to do so well. But I wasn't succeeding at learning in the way I was being taught. It wasn't until I mastered a new way of learning, a method you will see over the course of the coming chapters, that I could finally use my brain to excel. So in this section, you're going to learn the science of accelerated learning and meta-learning in 5 areas: focus, study, memory, speed reading, and thinking. These are the 5 flagship programs that we teach to individuals and organizations at Quick Learning. Take special note of the lead-in questions at the start of these chapters, and make sure to try out all the exercises I've included. Once you start using these tools, I think you'll find yourself using them all the time, and I think you'll be amazed at what they can unlock for you. It's not plugged in. Focus. So this has been a huge message for me, and obviously, like, it's difficult for me to focus. Is that a limiting belief? Do I need to go do an NLP session on myself? I just said it's difficult to focus. I mean, when you have children around you, is it not? I think I'm doing okay. But Dad fell asleep, so she's here. She was content, and like I said, now she's here. So whenever you want to achieve something, keep your eyes open, concentrate, and make sure you know exactly what it is you want. No one can hit their target with their eyes closed. Paulo Coelho. He has another really good quote. What is it? I have it over there, don't I? Oh, it's on the opposite side of that one. What is that quote? It's going to bug me now.
I don't know, Mom.
Lay. I need that paper right there.
What paper?
That one.
What one? Hi.
This one. Ugh. Imagine.
What's mine?
Oops, I sat on her. Imagine a new story for your life and start living it.
What's mine?
I'm going to sit on you. Be the change, guys. Look. Really? We got ducks. Tell them we got baby ducks.
Hi, guys.
The chapter's on focus. And look at this. Really? Okay. Lay. We can do this, right? So chapter 11, focus. This has been a huge message from the universe that I've been getting. Focus has been coming up a lot, and it just so happens that this is the chapter. So what can I learn from what I'm like when I'm most focused? When I'm focused, I get shit done. I get caught in the multitasking mom trap. So how can I increase my ability to concentrate? And how do I limit my distractions and calm my busy mind? So what's the difference between someone performing at superhero levels and someone falling to ever discover their superpowers or failing to ever discover their superpowers. Girl, I'm going to knock you out. Really? Come on, sit up. Look at your hair now. So what is the difference? In many cases, it's a matter of focus. I'm sure you've had numerous times in your life when you really...
If you're in person, then go on walk with donuts and eat on the streets and don't brush your teeth.
That's really bad advice. Listen, go to your room, please.
No.
Yes, girl. Mama's going to knock you out.
No.
You want to stay here with me?
No.
Well, then you must be quiet. Sit down.
If you let the cat in.
I'm going to knock you out. If I let the cat in, nothing.
Mom.
Okay.
Mommy.
What?
If you let the cat in, then I'll brush your hair. If you don't let the cat in, then I won't brush your hair.
If I let the cat in, then she'll brush my hair. Well, the cat has been peeing on her bed. And so, no, the cat's not coming in. We bought a heated house, and the cats are going to stay outside.
No.
Because Mom's not washing the blankets every other freaking day.
No,
So,
kitty.
we have ducks downstairs. Is that not enough?
Hey, Mommy.
Can All right. So,
Mommy.
how am I doing a chapter on focus and I can't even focus? Come on, guys. All right. Listen, I would really love to read and get through this.
Hey, Mommy.
What?
If you let the cat in, if you don't let the cat in, then I won't brush your hair. I won't brush my teeth. Or I will break all the toothbrushes.
You'll break all the toothbrushes.
Yeah. And nobody can glue them. I put all the glue out
Mm-hmm.
in the garbage. Then nobody can have the glue. Then nobody can fix the toothbrushes. And then I'll be a mess.
Okay, well, how about I make you a deal?
What's the deal?
The deal is, you let me finish this chapter, and then we'll say hi to the kitty.
No.
Deal or no deal?
Yes, deal.
Okay, make you promise. Go to your room.
No.
Beso.
I don't want to go in
Well, then stay right there. All right.
Okay.
But you can't block the camera, Lay. Ay, Dios mío. God. All right. Lay, baby. I'm trying to read. Come here.
No.
I'm gonna cry, guys.
No. No.
Hi, Jen. Uh-oh. What happened? Listen. Come here.
No.
Yes.
No.
You sit here. Or go to your room. You have two choices. You can sit here with Mommy and let me do it, or you can go to your room. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Those are your choices.
Can I lay on you?
No, that's not a choice. Well, you want to sit here or go to your room? What do you want to do? Right here. Okay? Sit back and listen and learn. Okay? Ay, Dios, ayúdame. I'm sure you've had numerous times in your life when you've really locked in on a task. Maybe it was writing a report that mattered a great deal to you. Lay. Maybe it was having a session with a mentor you love. Maybe it was attacking a bowl of your favorite ice cream. How did you do with these tasks? In all likelihood, you crushed them. Writing one of the best reports of your life, learning huge amounts from your mentor, and devouring that ice cream like it was the last dessert in the world. This happened because you were able to train your focus on the task at hand. Get right on that task and not let anything distract you from that task. So why do most of us have only so much ability to maintain focus? Because a lot of us are single moms and I'm not single anymore, but Dad's sleeping. So hello. So get right on track and not let anything distract you on the task. So why do most of us only have so much ability to maintain focus? Simply, I think it's because we were never taught to do so. Certainly, I don't recall having a focus class when I was in elementary school. I think I'm focusing pretty well considering when I have a toddler licking my arm. Like, I'm going to kick your butt.
No.
Do you remember? Listen. Stop looking at me. She thinks she's a cat. She gives herself cat baths. She licks herself and then she wipes her face. Do you remember when you were a kid and you went outside on a sunny day with a magnifying glass? And how cool was it to hover the glass over a leaf and see the intensely bright spot appear on the leaf and then watch as the leaf started to smoke and burn? I've never actually done that. So, Lay, Mama is gonna knock you out, girl. What you were able to do. A chapter on focus, guys. You know what? Lay, I'm gonna knock you out.
No.
Pow-pow. Two-piece. Pow-pow.
No.
Yes.
No.
No deal. Deal's off. Kitty's not coming in.
No.
Nope. You're not holding up on your bargain.
No.
What, you gonna do this? You gonna let me read this? Seriously, guys. So, what were you able to do was focus the greater level of the sun's intensity on that leaf. And where the bright spot appeared, things were their hottest. Interestingly, when we talk about something being intelligent, we often call them bright. Going back to our magnifying glass analogy, maybe what we're really saying isn't that this person is much more intelligent than most other people. Maybe that person is just more focused. Shit, man, if I had time to myself, when I have time to myself, like, you know what? I gotta get up early. Somebody hold me accountable. Wake my ass up at 5 a.m. every morning, please. That's Eastern Standard Time. If you want to give me a wake-up call, let me know. Focus allows us to train our brain power on a particular task to run through that task. It's amazing what we can accomplish when we're focused, right? Like when you have people coming over and you're like, shit, I got to get the house clean. And you focus and like you get so much done in like 20 minutes. For real. Conversely, when we're less focused, we're less likely to accomplish what we truly want to do because we're just not as committed, both emotionally and physically, to doing it. The primary enemy to focus is distraction. Exhibit A.
Mommy?
Rate your current level of concentration from 0 to 10. Let's say it's like a 5. Now rate your desire to increase this level. I want an 8, 9, a 10. Your concentration is like a muscle you can train to become stronger with practice. I mean, I think I'm pretty focused considering I'm still going here. But practicing concentration. Concentration is at the crux of all human success and endeavor. Hindu priest and entrepreneur and former monk Dandapani told me during one of my podcasts, if you can't concentrate, you can't manifest. Holy, if you can't concentrate, you can't manifest, guys. So, what Dandapani is saying is that concentration is a critical component of anything you want to accomplish. But like so many other things we've discussed already, we never really been taught how to concentrate. Sure, our parents and our teachers might have implored us to concentrate harder, maybe even criticize us for our lack of focus with a question such as, why can't you just concentrate? That's the worst thing like you can say to a kid. Why can't you do this? Their subconscious, literally, I'm listening to a book. Jen, I'm still listening to that 10-hour Joe Dispenza book. How to break free from your old mind to get a new mind or whatever. I forget what it's called. But I'm like 7 hours in, and he's talking about, now I'm going to lose my train of thought, seriously. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. Oh, like when they're in the first 7 years of life and they're in like theta brainwave state, which is like a hypnotic state where they're being programmed. They're in like a trance and they're literally being programmed. And if you say something to a kid like, big boys don't cry, they're like, check, like heard, subconscious program, big boys don't cry. So if I cry, I'm not a big boy. Like that's how powerful those first 7 years are. So, but the simple answer to that is most of us never learned how. So we don't learn how to concentrate. Dandapani points out that concentration is like a muscle that gets stronger the more you exercise it. Concentration is something you can learn and something you can practice to get better at. Is this practice right here? He said, however, what most of us practice instead is distraction. This is why the universe is giving me this message. Focus, 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 focus. That's so We allow our minds to jump from thought to thought, often using technology to help us practice distraction until we're experts at it. And we should be, because we often get a dozen or more hours of practice a day. Just imagine what it would be like if we practiced concentration for even a fraction of that time. Dandapani has a remarkably clear way of looking at this. I define concentration as my ability to keep my awareness on one thing for an extended period of time. Every time my concentration drifts, I use my willpower to bring my awareness back. It's taking all the willpower that I have right now. So not really. It's not that bad, but yeah, it kind of is. I'm going to knock her out. Like, I'm going to knock you out, Lay. Where were we? So imagine what it would be like if you practice concentration for even a fraction of that time. Dandapani has a remarkably clear way of looking at this. I define concentration as my ability to keep my awareness on one thing for an extended period of time. Okay, wait, I said that already. So most of us think of lack of concentration as a function of our mind bouncing from place to place. Dandapani has a different and more helpful metaphor. To him, it isn't your mind that's moving, it's your awareness. He sees awareness as a glowing ball of light that moves to different parts of your mind. In order to excel at concentration, you need to make yourself keep that ball of light trained on one spot in your mind for an extended period. This won't be easy at first, but a conscious effort to exercise your willpower in this way is likely to lead to impressive results. You can work on this during nearly any pursuit. If you're having a conversation with someone, make a concerted effort to pay attention to nothing other than that conversation. Lay.
Mommy, what are they doing?
That's it. The duckies are going back to the store.
No.
Yup.
No.
Where was I? All right, so in order to excel at concentration, you need to make yourself keep that ball of light trained on one spot in your mind for an extended period. So that won't be easy at first, but a conscious effort to exercise your willpower in this way is likely to lead to impressive results. You can work on this during any pursuit. If you are having a conversation with someone, I will get the kitty when I am done. Actually, no, deal's off. Make a concerted effort to pay attention to nothing other than the conversation. Yes.
No, Kitty.
Really? Lay. Come on, up here. Let mommy finish. So, you can work on this during the day in any pursuit. Make a concerted effort to pay attention to nothing other than the conversation. If you notice your awareness drifting away from the conversation, refocus your glowing ball of light. If you're reading a report for work, train your eyes on the words as though nothing else exists. That's literally what I'm trying to do right now. Again, if you notice the light of your awareness beginning to shine on something else, bring that ball back to the report. If you make the commitment to practice concentration an hour or so a day, it will soon become second nature. Whenever possible, try to do one thing at a time. Whenever possible, try to do one thing at a time. Okay, guys, so we've talked a bit about multitasking already. Yeah, I know it's a trap, and you know, your energy's all over the place, and so that's why you feel drained or, right away, because you're doing so much instead of focused attention on tasks. And so if you make the commitment to practice, wait, I already said that. So, but for now, just remember that multitasking is a grossly ineffective way to get anything done. If at all feasible, allow yourself to do whatever you're doing to the exclusion of everything else. If you're on the phone, don't scroll through social media at the same time. If you're making breakfast, don't also work on your to-do list for the day. By doing one thing at a time, your concentration muscle will become incredibly strong and your focus will reach limitless levels. Time blocking and segment intending. Right? Time blocking and segment intending. All right, so my intention right now is to finish reading this dang chapter, right? and to sharpen my concentration muscle right now because it's taking everything I have. So if another key to boosting your concentration, anyway, if you're on the phone, don't scroll, blah, blah, blah. If you're making breakfast, don't do that. By doing one thing at a time, your concentration muscle will become incredibly strong and your focus will reach limitless levels. Another key to boosting your concentration is decluttering your environment. A Princeton University study found that multiple stimuli present in the visual field at the same time compete for neural representation by mutually suppressing their evoked activity throughout the visual cortex, providing a neural correlate for the limited processing capacity of the visual system. Well, that was a freaking mouthful. Right? So basically, you can't focus on a whole shit ton of things at once. So in layman's terms, what this means is that physical clutter in your surroundings competes for your attention, which results in decreased performance and increased anxiety and stress levels. Well, dang. So if you want to become a master at concentration, divest yourself of the potential for distraction whenever concentration is critical. If you're working on the computer, shut down every application and every open tab other than the ones you absolutely need to perform the task at hand. Limit the number of items in your physical workspace as well. Whether I think many of us consider a desk piled with books, magazines, papers, pictures of our kids, and souvenirs from our vacations to be cozy and even a sign of an active mind. Every single one of those items create a pull away from your concentration. Family heirlooms are wonderful, and you already know how I feel about books. Just limit the number of these things that you share residence with the place where you need to be most productive. So calming your busy mind. Unlimiting your focus requires more than just getting to the task at hand. As we've already discussed, focus requires an ability to set aside distractions and give all your attention to what you're doing. But is that even possible anymore? Most of us are working on multiple devices at the same time, often with multiple applications running on each of those devices. We have meetings to attend, emails and texts to answer, social media statuses to update, and multiple projects in play. Yet precisely because of this, it's more important than ever to find ways to bring calm to your mind. Thank you, baby. You might not even realize it, but all the input you're getting on any given day is causing you a considerable amount of stress. If you're like many people, you might even think of this as a positive thing because it means that you're busy. But by being busy, you're making a meaningful contribution to the world. While this might be true, it is in spite of this anxiety rather than because of it. A quote comes to my mind, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're getting a lot done, right? So, that's why freaking segment intending, time blocking is so dang important. And it is really a struggle, and it has been for me a struggle to overcome getting into a good, solid routine with all the things that I want to accomplish, being home with 2 kids, pregnant, doing all the things. It's not easy. So, anxious thoughts can overwhelm you, making it difficult to make decisions and take action to deal with whatever issues bother you, writes psychologist Melanie Greenberg, PhD, author of The Stress-Proof Brain. Anxiety can also lead to overthinking, which makes you more anxious, which leads to more overthinking, and so on. How can you get out of this vicious cycle? Repressing anxious thoughts won't work. They will just pop up again, sometimes with more intensity. Juliet Funt is a CEO and consultant from White Space at Work. She describes white space as the thinking time, the strategic pause that's in between the busyness. When she was on my podcast, Juliet called white space the oxygen that allows everything else to catch fire. So it reminds, Abraham Hicks says, in segment intending, take a moment in between tasks to set the intention. Okay, if you're moving from task to task, okay, right now I'm doing the dishes. My intention is to finish these dishes. All right, something pops up. You gotta go answer the phone. Okay, think about it for a second. Okay, the phone's ringing. I'm setting the intention. I'm gonna go and get this call and finish the call, and then I'll return back to these dishes. Right? This has a profound meaning. I actually had, the North Calls Of course, we all know Frozen is like, just has so many profound meanings to me. Higher self, being called to step into power, and all that good stuff. But I had a session with a lady, Yora. She's in Greece, I believe, right? And she did this reprogramming on me. And I was supposed to face north. I forget what happened. I'm going to forget, but the compass, it was something about north, and then I found this, and the north is calling me. It was like I need to create a synchronicity journal, because I get so many dang synchronicities, right? And I've read things about writing it down, keeping track. I get so many of them, and it would be nice to look back, because I'm sure I'm not going to remember them all, how everything is just literally unfolding and falling into place. But, and all the signs that I've been getting along the way, just incredible. Anyway, so here, where were we? What both Greenberg and Funt are identifying is the need for all of us to have more time when our minds aren't cluttered. It's obvious how doing this will positively affect our mental health, but what's less obvious is how it will dramatically improve our focus and our productivity. Some interesting studies in neuroscience underscore this, showing us how distraction is actually changing our brains. One, Leilania Maurice. Where's the cage? No, I'm just kidding. Where was I? Some interesting studies in neuroscience underscore this, showing us how distraction is actually changing our brains. So one University College London compared the brain of heavy media multitaskers with those of light media multitaskers and found that the anterior cingulate cortex, which is involved in focus, was similar or smaller among the former groups. So conversely, a study at Max Planck Institute found that among people going through training exercises to increase attention, their ACC grew thicker. So again, that ACC is the anterior cingulate cortex, which is involved in focus. So, and distractions can be a serious time sink. Yeah, I could have been done with this chapter like yesterday. She's normally not even like this, so like I don't know what's up with her right now. But I'm definitely gonna knock her out when I get off of this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna knock her out, but Mama's gonna knock you out. So a study from University of California. No, I'm not helping you, girl. The study shows how distractions can really disrupt your day. This is like what the universe is telling me, focus. This is what the chapter is on, and it's all about distractions, and Exhibit A is like, what is this trying to tell me? Seriously. Leilani, you're never like this, girl. You're making mommy kind of sad over here. Seriously. No. Come on. That's enough. Pow-pow.
No.
Pow-pow.
No. Kitty.
I'm determined to get through this. Okay, go get the kitty. Go let the kitty in. Dale.
Ow.
Go. Open the door. Go. Dale. My chapstick. She got my chapstick on the floor over here. You're not going to wake Daddy up. So, you have to completely shift your thinking. It takes you a while to get into it. It takes you a while to get back and remember where you were, said Gloria Mark, lead author of the study. We found about, thank you, 82% of all interrupted work is resumed on the same day. But here's the bad news. It takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to get back to the task. That's more than 20 minutes every time you're distracted. And how often are you distracted every day? Damn it, I would have been done with this chapter already. So, tools like meditation, yoga, and certain martial arts can be tremendously valuable in helping you calm your busy mind. Or a cage with a lock. No. But if you're in the middle of the day and can't afford to get away for more than a few minutes, there are still some things you can do. 3 important ones are breathe. You've already talked about the value of taking deep cleansing breaths as part of your morning routine, but doing the same thing is valuable whenever you need to recenter yourself. Holistic health expert Andrew Well, MD, developed a breathing tool that he calls the 4-7-8 method, which works like this. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound. Close your mouth, inhale quietly through your nose to the mental count of 4. Hold your breath to the count of 7. Exhale completely, whoosh through your mouth, making the whoosh sound to the count of 8. This is 1 breath. Now inhale again and repeat the cycle 3 more times for a total of 4 breaths. Do something, or number 2, do something that has been causing you stress. Do something that has been causing you stress, This goes back to what we talked about earlier regarding procrastination. As we all know, thanks to Bluma Zarganik, things weighing on our minds are going to continue weighing on our minds until we deal with them, right? So if you have a task that you need to get done, get it done. You'll feel so much better. What a relief, right? If you're having trouble focusing, or if your mind is operating on a dozen planes at the same time, it's very possible the reason this is happening is because there's something that you need to do that you've been avoiding doing. If that's the case, do a little 4-7-8 breathing, deal with the stressful task, and then you can get back to everything else you want to do with increased focus. Okay. What is that one important thing that you're avoiding that is affecting your focus? Schedule time for distractions. It might be a challenge for you to turn off your phone and your email when you need to focus. That's not the dang challenge. This is the challenge right here. But if you convince yourself to do these things, great. They're relatively easy to do. What's likely to be considerably harder is to avoid letting worries and obligations get in the way of whatever you're trying to accomplish in that moment. There's a reason you're seeing things as worries or obligations, and that makes them much harder to push out of your mind. Addressing one of the concerns head on, as we just discussed, is a way to deal with this, but there is going to be situations where that's simply not possible. Instead, if you set aside a specific time in your schedule to move those worries and obligations to the forefront of your mind, simply saying, I'll worry about that later, isn't likely to keep that worry from creeping back 20 minutes from now. But saying, I'll worry about that at 4:15 very well might. Schedule your next distraction time. Schedule your next distraction time. Before we move on, unlimiting your focus is a key to unleashing your superpowers. When your mind is truly focused, when you're completely throwing yourself at a task, you achieve at levels that are impossible. When you're distracted or divided in your thoughts, before we move on from this chapter, let's try a few things. Take a good look. Look, we are at the very end. Take a good look at your to-do list and identify the thing or things on it that is likely to invade your thoughts until you get it done. Formulate a plan for dealing with that task using some of the anti-procrastination tools you have now. Do something right now that changes your productivity environment so you can do a better job of staying on task. I want to read first thing in the morning, but I get up at I get up when I go to work. So if that's 5:30 in the morning, a hot mess central, okay, and that's like 3:30. No, that's like 2:30 specific time. I feel like nobody's up at that time, right? So I don't know. And then she was content. So practice a technique for calming your busy mind. Does it work for you? If so, commit to using it regularly. All right, y'all. Damn it, I'm done with it. Leilani, I love you. Took a break to reflect on everything going on in my life. Try to come back. And look, we got it done. We got it done. Yay! Yay! Now we can get ready for bed, right?
And get Kitty.
No, we're not bringing Kitty in. I was lying. Kitty pee on the bed. So, say goodnight to everybody. You gotta ask Dad. That's the deal. If you ask Dad and Dad says okay, then I'll be like, all right. But that cat keeps peeing on the bed. And Mom's not gonna keep washing the freaking blankets.
No.
Yeah. So,
Peace, namaste now.
Namaste.
And Meow, meow, meow. And woof, woof, woof.
Truth and love and light.
And woof, woof, and meow.
Guys, wait. You see my hat? You see what my hat says? It says truth, grace, and truth.
And woof, woof, woof.
Ruff, ruff, ruff. Grace and truth.
And woof, woof, woof.
Be the change. Be the change.
And woof, woof, woof. And meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow.
Made it through. Now it's time to get ready for bed so I can be up at 5 in the morning.
Hey.
I don't know if I want to read at 5 in the morning,
Well,
though.
I did it.
What did you do?
Hey.
What's the best time for me to read, you guys? Drop it
Where's
in the
Endo?
chat. Let me
Where's
know
Where's
what time do
Endo?
you wake up? And what